I am from the state of Oklahoma in the United States. What I do for a living is I'm a police officer. My current assignment is I'm a full-time instructor. I train police officers in my agency and throughout Oklahoma, primarily in firearms tactics, patrol tactics, SWAT operations, defensive tactics. Basically, my job is I teach cops how to drive, shoot, and fight. I've been in law enforcement for 23 years. I started right after high school. I started as a corrections officer. When I was of the age where I could become a police officer and carry a gun, I was transferred into that position. So for 20 years I've been a police officer carrying a firearm. I would say of those 20 years, I probably have spent 18 years on SWAT or some type of tactical unit, methamphetamine lab team, undercover narcotics. I've done some investigations and things like that, but primarily my job has been patrol, SWAT, and that has now evolved into training. I wasn't satisfied with my abilities with a pistol, even as an instructor, so I sought help outside of law enforcement to improve my pistol skill, and that led me to the world of competition shooting. I competed in several different sports. I made ranked master in 3 different sports. I had some success. I won some state championships, won some national title, but the competing was never about making me a better shooter per se. It was more about making me a better shooter so I understand shooting at a level and at a depth where I can pass it on to my students. For me, it's always been about passing on what I've learned. I don't care anything about trophies or medals or anything like that. My trophy, my medal, is when one of my guys calls me and tells me that they had a fight and they won. That's my trophy. I currently am a team leader on the largest SWAT team in the state of Oklahoma. We have officers from many jurisdictions that are on our team. That's what enables us to have such a large team. I'm the original member of the team that does not actually belong to the agency that is named as the team agency. So for example, my team is a sheriff's office team, but I work for a police department. So I was loaned to the sheriff's department purely for SWAT. Like I say, I've been SWAT for about 18 years, and just over the course of that time, I went from just being the low man on the totem pole, just a regular operator, and I've worked myself up into that team leader position. And part of what I do in that team leader position is I plan our missions. I make sure that I have all the assets and all the people to successfully complete the mission with a minimal amount of risk. I'm responsible for training our team, training our operators, training on new tactics, new court cases, new techniques, new pieces of equipment. So although I'm not a full-time SWAT trainer, I would say that it just works out to where most of my time is spent training SWAT or SWAT-related tactics. So how I ended up in Brazil and ended up at 38. Many years ago, I met a man named Hoist Gracie. Obviously, I knew Hoist Gracie. I knew the name. I knew of him, and he wanted a pistol lesson. So I took him to the range and we shot some guns. And I told him in exchange for a pistol lesson, he would have to give me a lesson in passing the guard. Of course, I knew nothing about jiu-jitsu. So we just kind of had kind of this bond of I have what he wants, the shooting, and he has what I want, the jiu-jitsu, and we just kind of hit it off from there. So that's been a really good, pretty close relationship for the last 7-8 years. And then I guess a year and a half, 2 years ago, Hoist gives me a call and says, I have a friend, Tony Eduardo, who's going to be in Oklahoma. And Hoist asked me if I would take Tony to the range. And I said, yeah, if he's a friend of yours, he's a friend of mine. So I met Tony out at the range, first time we ever met, and I felt like I had known him my entire life. Just very like-minded, very much of the same spirit. He was a very good shooter. I was impressed with how good he shot, and I was equally impressed with how well he took instruction and how well he learned. And then I found out that he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So I knew for sure that there was some stuff from him that I was going to need as well. So Tony had been trying to get me down here for about a year and a half and just couldn't get my schedule to work out. And we finally got some time, and here I am. I've been here teaching some classes. It's been good. I'm married. My wife is also a police officer. She's actually an investigator for the state of Oklahoma. So she trains with me. She trains shooting with me. She trains jiu-jitsu with me. We also have kids. I've got my oldest son trains jiu-jitsu. He's an excellent shooter. He's got the humongous heart. Just a super cool kid. I have another son who's 16 years old. He doesn't train because he plays basketball. He's a very good basketball player, so his time is spent there. Then I've got 2 young daughters, and both of those in elementary school and junior high. They both train jiu-jitsu. And so our family is kind of, our hobbies are all kind of together, and we all train together, and it just makes our family very tight and very respectful and very healthy. And we don't have hobbies other than training with each other, so to speak.